Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Retro Nerd Showcase. This is Chucky, and today we are actually going to go over another retro topic. And that retro topic is the Thundercats, which is my all time favorite cartoon of all time. Now, I grew up in mid 80s, and then Thundercats to me were always a big thing. It's I'm one of those kids that I grew up with the core four. I grew up with Thundercats, Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joe, Transformers, the core four. Some people would take Thundercats out and they would put He-Man in there, but for me, it was Thundercats. It was a very story, interesting storyline that you could do of them going to Earth and then actually going and rebuilding their society on a new planet. And then you had the mutants that follow them there, and then you have Mumra who gets unleashed. And the story was always good. The story was good. Every episode was unique and different. It wasn't like a retread like some cartoons have been, where it's the same stuff in every episode. It You had Lion-O who had the mind of a 13-year-old, 12-year-old, trying to because he's in a time capsule and he grew, so he's a little kid in an adult's body, and he's trying to figure out how to really deal with things. And you had Snarf. That you can look at Snarf as an annoying character, you can look at Snarf as trying to guide Lion-O in the right direction. Panthro was really good, he was the inventor. Tigero was the cocky one of the group. uh Chitara was a good character as well. Wily Kit and Wily Cat were very entertaining characters as well. And the show, what most people might forget is that halfway through the series, they switched to villain. So Mumra went into hiding, and you had the Lunatics. And the Lunatics were really very interesting characters that were already on Third Earth. And from there, it also introduces these other Thundercats. One of them looked a lot like Tigra. One of them was like a blind Jaga. Um, there was a Pumra, the female, was really cool. And then they always had these side characters in there. You had like these Ewok type characters that were like robot teddy bears. There was different races that would show up, and what Lion-O would learn throughout the series is growth, because he realized he couldn't fight on his own, and you actually have to use your team to help you defeat things. And it was a great show. And I had all the toys. My mom worked at Target and my uncle worked at Toys R Us. So what would happen is there's very few times in my life that I got a lot of the cool stuff that I wanted, but Thundercats was one of them where I got Mumra's Lair, Cat's Lair. I had the Thunder Tank. I had the hover bikes that were Wily Kit and Wily Cat. I had Jaga, who was a limited edition mail away, and I had all these toys. Now I don't have them anymore, and I'm slowly starting to get them back. But that was really cool. And then later on, when I was a lot older, they relaunched Thundercats. Um, when I was like 12 or 13 on Toonami. So a whole new generation could watch them, but not just a whole generation, but that way you could rewatch it. And I rewatched the whole thing. It got phased out once anime became more popular because they did Thundercats and then Dragon Ball Z was on after it, and slowly Dragon Ball Z started catching on. So they just kind of knocked it out of there. Then they did a new series, which I liked. It was a different take. It took a take of Mumra being more of like a entity and it actually taking place on Thundera. So it was a different type and it really showcased a different style of Lion-O and Panthro and all of them, but incorporated some of what the show was. It never got to finish where it was going, which is hard when something doesn't get to finish where it was going. And then about a year and a half ago, uh, Thundercats Roar, we saw a trailer for that about somebody who supposedly loved Thundercats, and he ended up releasing this. He wants to do like a Teen Titans Go style of Thundercats, and Thundercats fans just blew up on it and said, "No, fuck you, we're not doing it. It's fucking bullshit." And I think it got canceled because I have not heard anything about it since then. And there's always been rumblings about a Thundercats movie, but I would truly love one. It is owned by Warner Brothers, and it could be a valuable franchise that they could use the way that Paramount has used Transformers, because you could really bring it in, and if you do it right, you could have this very valuable entity because there is a super loyal fan base that we wait for merchandise. Uh, Thundercats has only ever been one video game to come out in the United States. Apparently, there was another one that was released in the United Kingdom years ago, but the only one that's ever come out is the one on the DS. But what would be good is to get Thundercats merchandise going again and to really give us fans something. I'm trying to recollect all my Thundercats figures and even these new Super 7 figures I am actually trying to get. So I just want to come on here to talk about Thundercats, and I will see you all next time.